From the headquarters of the Guild of Champions, this is the Becoming Thin podcast. And I am your host, Chris Terrell. And welcome to another week of your weight loss quest. How did this last week go for you, champion? What new challenges did you encounter? But more importantly, what failure did you go through? And what lesson did you get from that failure? Come on now. Don't let a perfectly good failure go by without you getting your lesson. That's your reward for your troubles, after all. Now, if you're new here, I've lost 125 pounds myself after an entire adulthood of chronic yo-yo dieting. Up, down, up again. Before I finally got sick and tired of being sick and tired, and I made some permanent, meaningful, and actual changes to my real-life lifestyle, habits, routines, environment, community, and to my systems of belief. Because it's all 6 of those things that created the results of my life, and if you want to get new results, you're going to have to go change those same very 6 things. And now I'm here for another week to help you on your journey to becoming thin, healthy, happy, and in shape. Now, in these most recent episodes, we've been talking about some of the deeper philosophies that I've had around becoming thin, about this journey that we're on. And we're going to continue with that this week. We're going to continue on with that. Now, if you're looking to get started on your weight loss journey, if you're looking to jumpstart things, so to speak, you can head on over to becomingthin.com and you can take my Kickstart program, which is my free weight loss course designed to get you up and going from nothing. Don't worry, at the end of that course, I'll tell you what the next steps are, where you can take the next free course that comes right after that. So I got you covered for a few weeks if you want to get a sense of what it's like to work with me. You can, again, register for that totally for free at becomingthin.com. And if you're interested in joining the guild, you can register for that by going to imnotquitting.com. That's imnotquitting.com. All right. Let's continue on this week with our philosophy deep dive towards weight loss. And one of the things that is important when you're on a journey, and I've realized makes a big deal with transforming who you are at a core level, is recognizing that the words that come across your mind, that we call thoughts, actually matter. They actually matter. The thoughts that you think regularly all the time will dictate the kind of results that you get in your life. Now, here's the interesting thing about thoughts. Some thoughts just show up like hiccups. You're there, you're doing your own thing, and there it is. A thought just arrives, comes out of the ether from nowhere known to you. There it is. Brains be doing that. But not all thoughts show up that way. Sometimes you plant a thought in your mind by listening to a song or reading a book or listening to a podcast like you are now, having a TV show playing in the background. These other outside sources float ideas, thoughts across your mind. And these thoughts that regularly float across your mind, well, they can begin to stick. You know, have you ever had an earworm with a song? Well, you can have earworms of thoughts that show up and they just keep playing again and again and again. And it's not unusual for a thought, if it plays too many times, far too often, until eventually the thought that might have been someone or something else's words become your words. And then next thing you know, you're repeating them to yourself. Like, it's impossible to lose weight. There's nothing I can do. No matter what I try, I've tried everything. I mean, come on, let's just try it. Let's think of that. Let's just really sit with that one for a second. I've tried everything to lose weight. You and I both know that ain't fucking true. You know that and I know that. Because you know, and I know you know, that we could easily sit down, pull up Google, and find at least, 30 diets that you haven't tried, right? We could probably find a few that you aren't even aware of. So you know you haven't tried everything. And yet what if in your social group or you hear people say things like this, I've tried everything. And so you start saying, I've tried everything. And of course, if you've tried everything, why would you try something to lose weight? Why would you even care? I've tried it all. There's nothing left. I've done it all. You see, there's another place that you get thoughts from. People. You're a byproduct of your lifestyle, habits, routines, environment, community, and your systems of belief. Your community affects your belief systems. You will often find that the people you hang out with A lot of times you have shared belief structures. And you'll find that people tend to reinforce their belief structures, and belief structures tend to coalesce. And this is something I teach about extensively in the guild. Those of you that know about the Rubik's Cube, you know what I'm talking about, right? Seeing the other side of the cube. But you see, when you hang out with, let's say, yo-yo dieters, and you talk about your weight loss with people that yo-yo diet, and people think they've tried everything, and people think there's nothing they can do about it, they're going to be constantly saying out loud their belief system that matches their decisions. And it's going to be getting into your head. And one of the things you'll find is that a lot of people are chasing short-term fixes. They're chasing instantaneous fixes. Give me the one thing I can do that makes it where I don't have to change, and then everybody normalizes it. Or you'll hang out with people that normalize eating food. It's, of course, you can't stop eating food. This food is too good. You got to have it. I can't stop. It's too good. I have to have this. It'd be wrong to throw food away. And you hear people around you saying this all the time. And the thing is, one of the major contributing causes to emotional eating is the need and desire as a person to belong. We want to belong. And so these beliefs that get floated across our mind from other people, we want to belong. So we start saying it back, even if we don't believe it. But the problem is you do it enough times, and eventually you believe it. Eventually you begin to believe it. And I thought I'd tell you a little bit. This is part of how I've developed my coaching program. My coaching program is designed to intentionally help you recondition your thinking through repetition of new ideas. The constant spaced repetition of new ideas constantly being floated across your mind so that you begin to change how you think. And the thing is, I tell you, I'm doing it. Like, it's not a secret. Like, I tell you exactly, like, this is the belief that you need to have. And here's why you need this belief. And here's what this belief is going to help you do. And we talk about it all of the time so that you can begin to work on it, so that you can begin to change. Like, one of the beliefs that I would float across your mind all the time is that you're not broken, you're conditioned. You aren't flawed at your core. Your behaviors are nothing more than the byproduct of ingrained patterns and your past coping strategies that may or may not have served you. You're not broken. You're not beyond fixing. You're just conditioned. And if you were conditioned one way, you can be conditioned another way. You see, that's a belief structure that I talk about all the time in my program. Another belief structure we talk about all the time is that losing weight isn't going to guarantee happiness. No number on a scale is going to heal some deeper wound or solve every stress in your life. Your life's still going to be stressful on the other side of it. So, might be different stresses, but you're still going to have stress. And so if you never address the way you handle emotional and psychological dissatisfaction, a smaller body isn't going to magically fix it. So we got to deal with your way you handle stress in your life, because weight loss alone doesn't guarantee happiness. See, that's another example of another belief that my coaching system, that we've baked into it. Because you have to begin to change things. Like another good one is that failure is good. Failure is where all the lessons are. If you haven't noticed the intro to the podcast, which is a little long for a podcast intro, I say the same thing every time. And I've even dedicated whole podcast episodes, maybe you've heard it, where I talk about the intro to the podcast and why I say it over and over and over and over again. Because I want your brain to hear that, hey, what failure did you go through and what lesson did you get from that failure? Because I want your brain just to automatically go, oh, I failed it. Well, what lesson am I going to get from it? That's what I want you to do. You see, and all of this is tied into you learning to master the creation of your own inner narrative. Many of us, we lived a large chunk of our lives. Hopefully you've begun to move beyond it. Maybe you're not yet. But where the loudest critic is the one inside of our own dang head. We have to recondition our automatic thoughts in our mind so that we speak to ourselves like a supportive person. And one of the ways you do that is by hanging out with a community that is empowering, that is supportive, that will remind you that you can do things, that when you're kind of doubting yourself, they'll help go, no, you can do this. You got this, right? Oh, I don't feel very motivated, but you need people around you. You're like, well, that's okay. You don't need motivation to do this. We just need to build better habits and systems. Let's talk about it. Oh, well, you need people that are like, I can't do this. I'm like, yes, you can. I was just like you. I didn't lose any weight this month. Well, I didn't lose weight 2 months ago. Remember when I was doing that and how I did this, and I pushed through and now look, everything's great. Like you're going to make it. Like you need to hang around that, because these thoughts of you're going to make it, you can keep doing this. That's what's going to help keep you going. We have to have the constant spaced repetition of new ideas. And they need to be sort of philosophically aligned, right? There's different approaches you could take. But if your automatic thinking, the thinking tied to your identity, if that doesn't change, by the time you make it to the end of your weight loss journey, you're just going to keep going back to doing what you did before. Albert Einstein, smart guy that Einstein, said, you can't solve your problems with the same thinking you used to create the original problem, right? You need a new way of thinking. You need a new way of thinking. Because your new body, you can't take care of it the way you lived your old life. If you live the old life, you're going to have the old results. If you always do what you've always done, you're going to get what you've always got. But if you always think what you've always thunk, you're going to keep doing what you've always done. So if you want new results, you're going to have to change your thinking. And you can't consciously choose to think everything indefinitely, because consciously choosing your thoughts takes time and energy and effort. You must actually condition and retrain your automatic habitual thought patterns that run in your mind. Yeah. I don't remember Weight Watchers teaching me about this. A GLP-1 isn't going to teach you about this, right? Doing keto isn't going to teach you about this. Hell, losing weight isn't going to teach you about this. That's why the way I approach weight loss is a little different than other places. This is why people, when they come into my program, they're like, well, where's the food rules plan? It's like, we don't have that here. What do you mean? How am I supposed to lose weight without my food rules plan? It's like, well, you haven't written it yet. Well, I don't know what to do. Right. We got to teach you. We got to learn how to do it. Right. We got to, because identity change is the real transformation here. You don't lose the weight. You outgrow yourself. You become someone who acts and thinks like a thin, healthy, happy, in shape person. You become that person before your body looks the part. That's what's so important about this. This is identity work. You have to have a personal growth to occur for you to lose all this weight and keep it off. Look, I'm not talking about 20 or 30 pounds where basically you just gained a little bit because life got a little stressful. I'm talking about people that are like how I was. You're 100 plus pounds overweight, 200 pounds overweight, 300 pounds overweight. You have to change how you see yourself. You have to change how you see the world. And that's why a few episodes ago, I did this whole idea of like, you're not what you think you are. You're not this unchangeable version of yourself that cannot be shifted into some other way. That is not you. You are able to be changed. You already know this. If you look to yourself 10 years ago, you will see that version of you isn't you. Sure, bits and pieces of it are there, but it isn't you. And the you of today won't exist 10 years from now. It'll be someone else. Are you going to leave it up to chance? Or are you going to leave it up to choice? The truth is, you're going to change no matter what. No matter what. That's just part of this journey. It's just part of this journey. And so you got to change your thinking. The automatic thoughts. And your community plays a massive role in this. Your community might keep you stuck, or your community might help you shift. You might keep your old community, the community you've had, but maybe you add a new community. Look, if you do this weight loss journey alone, it's easy to slip backwards. It's real easy. But if you surround yourself with people who are pushing forward, who share the struggles, cheer your wins, and they look like you, and they're doing it the same way as you, it's so much easier to keep going. That's why most of us, we don't need accountability partners. We need encouragement partners. We need a support network of good quality people trying to help us become thin, healthy, happy, in shape. Right? That's what we need. That's what I needed. I had people in my life to help me change the way I think. And when I got into coaching, I began to realize that, this is a really important component. I used to coach without a community component, and it was harder. It's only once I realized how vital it is to provide a community, because people didn't have one at home and they didn't know how to create it, or they didn't even have people to go to. They just didn't know people in their life that they could turn to, that could help them. And so you try to wrangle somebody else into doing a diet with you, but they weren't motivated to do it. The truth is, like, motivation's going to ebb and flow, but you need a place where people are always motivated. And that's why I've created a community-forward approach to weight loss, so that you can have the support network and surround yourself with OSPs, only supportive people. That's what you need to surround yourself with, because these supportive people are going to help reinforce the belief structures that you need to become thin, healthy, happy, and in shape, and keep it that way. And so if you are interested in that, by the way, you can join my program today. You can just go to imnotquitting.com, and you can come join. We'll get you in and we'll get you plugged into the community right away. I hear from them all day long in the apps that we use to communicate. We use a few different ones. People are able to get support 24/7. When they're 10 o'clock at night, they're having a hard time. You can reach out and talk to people. You can talk about the new belief structures. I'm doing an emotional leading course. We've been doing it for a month and a half, where we're talking all about how to see emotional leading differently. That's the stuff you need. You need these new ideas. And the thing is, this isn't for amateurs, though. You know, an amateur tries haphazardly, but a pro, they're fully committed to investing in their goals and investing in getting the tools and the training and the support that they need. And so the question for you is, are you going to turn pro in your weight loss journey? Are you going to surround yourself with a team of people? It doesn't have to be my team. You could go find some other team. Just find a team. Don't try to lose weight on your own. You got to do it all yourself, though. I mean, no one can do this work for you. No one can eat for you. No one can not eat for you. No one can go on a walk on your behalf. In truth, you got to do all the work yourself. That's just how it works. That's just how it works. But just because you got to do the work yourself alone doesn't mean you got to be alone and unsupported as you do it. I'm going to be running an ultra marathon here in a week. And I got to do every step myself, but I got friends coming and they're going to run it too. And we're going to be doing the misery together. We're going to be encouraging and support each other. But ultimately, we got to get ourselves through it. But we can do it with support and encouragement from others. And you can do it too with your weight loss journey. So find a community. Find a group of people that are wanting to do weight loss the way that you're trying to do it. And if you're trying to do it the way I'm helping, slow and steady. And if you want to join my program, feel free. imnotquitting.com. And if you're not going to join my program, that's fine. Go find one. Find a program. Get connected with the community. Stay focused. It's going to be a long journey. And it takes as long as it takes. It truly does. And however long you think it's going to take, it is probably going to take a lot longer than that. I mean it. Now, here's the thing, though. There's a belief you need to have. If you don't have it, I want you to borrow it from me. The belief is that it's possible to do this. It's possible to lose all the weight and keep it off. I didn't think it was possible. For a long time, I didn't think it was possible. Most of my life. But one day, I decided to choose to believe that it might be possible to lose all the weight and keep it off. But I had to borrow the belief from some other people. I had to look at people that seemed similar to me, and they're like, you can do this. I'm like, okay. I'm going to choose to believe I can do this. And that's what you're going to have to do too. You're going to have to choose to believe that you can do this. Have a great week. See you next week on the Becoming Thin podcast.